Hey guys! So this video is going to be about how to move to New York alone. I moved to New York about 5 months ago, all by myself.
Tell me what you think about me.
Yeah, it was honestly really challenging. I guess I didn't, honestly, I don't think I expected how hard it was going to be, which was kind of a good thing because I was naive to it all, but it's fine because I survived and I'm here in a beautiful apartment, so I'm grateful. But here are some tips that I wish somebody would have told me. Okay, so first tip, definitely use your network to find somebody that you know who lives in the city that you could stay with, possibly for a month or two, especially if you're starting a new job and if you're brand new to the city, that you can crash with and, maybe pay them a few, like a low monthly fee for rent before you actually find an apartment. I did not anticipate how hard it was going to be to find an apartment in New York City, by the way. I was expecting to find something maybe within a few weeks, but it took me like 2 months. So definitely find somebody that you can crash with or somebody that you can rely on in the time that it takes you to secure an apartment. Second tip. Okay, once your checks start coming in, paychecks start coming in, the cash starts rolling in, and you have, enough wiggle room to like actually move out of your friend's place or acquaintance place, I would say for apartment hunting, I recommend using the app Roomy, which my friend actually introduced me to. Complete lifesaver. I went from finding barely any apartments to finding like plenty, and the people on there were really cool. It just seemed like everybody was just on that app seemed really just professional and just very like accommodating for roommates. So I definitely recommend the Roomy app. I think I tried Craigslist, which was a bust, and I also tried like Nooklin and those other like realtors. And also there's like a website that you can look for, I think it's like Street Easy, and they post listings, but a lot of the times you have to pay a broker's fee, and I found that really, really hard. I would definitely recommend, if you're new to the city and just moving in, to find somebody that you can take over a sublease. Why? There's a few reasons for that. If you're taking over a sublease, the advantage is that a lot of times the apartment will be like already furnished, so you don't have to worry if you're brand new to the city about buying furniture and stuff like that. And second of all, if you're taking over a lease, it could be shorter in case, let's say your new job falls through or something like that. You always have to have some extra, caution. The lease is typically shorter, so you wouldn't be landlocked for a whole year if, anything happens. So I definitely recommend, like, if you're brand new, to find a subleaser that you could take over. It was like the best decision that I made. Third tip. This is something that I learned from like moving over several cities, because I've moved a lot since in my 20s. Still in my 20s, but late 20s now. For mattresses, this is like a little hack that I have. So if you're looking for a mattress, a decent quality mattress, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, go to Mattress Firm, okay? Don't tell them I told you this, but go to Mattress Firm. Find a nice, kind of expensive-ish, like, let's say low tier, but like a decent priced mattress, and ask them if they have the floor model for you. If they have a floor model in the store, or if they have any like in the surrounding places. If they do, ask them to order it for you, and a lot of times you can get a huge discount by taking the floor model. The mattress that I'm on right now is actually a floor model, and it's brand, like, it looks brand new. Like, I don't know how long they said they had it on the floor, out on the floor, but it must have been for like maybe less than a month, because it literally is like brand new. So I definitely recommend that. I found a lot of good quality mattresses for really cheap from like the floor models. Yeah, so that's a nice little mattress tip. But before that, I was on an air mattress, so I definitely had to upgrade from that. Okay, third tip. If you can, before you start working, get really acquainted with the New York subway system. That alone in itself is a whole other ballpark. Like, I lived in DC for a little bit, and the subway system is like maybe 1/18th of the New York subway system. So if you can, before you start working, definitely get acquainted with the New York subway system. That way, when you start working, you won't get lost, or you won't have to rely on expensive Ubers. And that way you'll have like a knowledge of the subway system before you actually start working. Because there were times where I was like super late for work, and it's just because I didn't know how to do I didn't know how to navigate the subway system. Thankfully, I had a really cool, nice, understanding manager, but that might not always be the case. So definitely get acquainted with the subway system before. and avoid using Ubers because it's a complete waste of money. Like I wasted so much money on Ubers when I was first here for the first few months, or it was like first month or something like that. Also, get acquainted with the boroughs. So, you know, it took me a little while to find out like how far Manhattan was from Brooklyn and from Bronx and from Queens. So take some time to understand your surroundings before you start working too. That'll be very, very helpful. And also I found apartment hunting to kind of actually teach me like how to navigate, because I would have to meet somebody in Bushwick and then I'd have to meet somebody in I guess Queens or something like that. And so it kind of like apartment hunting alone kind of teaches you how to like navigate when you're first new to the city. But again, definitely acquaint yourself with your surroundings before you start working if you can. It's definitely, it takes a long time it took me a little while to get familiar with. And also just use Google Maps. That's like your best friend. And that brings me to my, I think, fourth point, I don't remember. But get a what do you call it? Portable battery charger. Yeah, battery pack. I don't know what you call them. Either way, they're like a portable little like square thing that you charge, that'll charge your phone when your phone is dying, like on the subway, and you don't know how to get to your location. That is quintessential for survival. I can't tell you how many of them I bought because I was so reliant on my phone to get anywhere. I had to keep charging my phone. So having those little battery portable charger things saved my life several times. So definitely invest in those, and don't get the cheap ones because they like don't work after like a month. Next tip: do not feel like you need to compromise on some of the things that you want in your living situation. I felt like people like kind of give the impression like, oh, rent is so expensive out here, you're gonna have to sacrifice on this and this and this, don't expect to get like nice things, but that's not true. Honestly, I pay a decent price for rent, and we have a dishwasher, we have all the things that people say you couldn't get, such as laundry and things like that. I mean, not in the unit, but definitely like have your preferences and try to stick to them, because you'll be able to find something. Don't feel like you need to like lower your standards of living just for the price. Like there are a lot of things out there, so always don't feel like you have to put yourself in a bad place just because of like your financial limitations or anything like that. And you obviously want to be somewhere safe, so don't compromise on that either.